Hello everybody out there in YouTube world. I hope things are okay for you out there with the things that are going on around that world of ours.
Make it okay.
Yeah, make it okay, yes. Right, before we start, thank you to our 7 new subscribers who subscribed over the night. Thank you ever so much, wherever you are in that world of ours. Thank you, thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. Bless you, bless you. Right, this video is going to be a let's talk about video. And the subject of the matter is a certain incident that happened yesterday and wasn't dealt with, unbeknownst to them. So this
Shocking.
Yeah. So this video
Shocking.
is called Missed Opportunities. Now, missed opportunities cover everything in what we do as human beings. Isn't that right, my dear?
It certainly is.
Right, so where shall I start? Yeah, before we get to the incident that happened yesterday. Yeah, missed opportunities. So, for instance, there was a job. Excuse me. There was a job that you've always wanted, and you kept putting it on the back burner, so to speak. Oh, I'll come to it so I can apply for this job, blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, you find out somebody else has got the job. And that person you also knew was also interested in the job. And that's a prime example of a missed opportunity in life. Isn't that right, my dear?
It can come under disappointment as well.
Yes,
can't it?
see what I mean?
Even though
There you
you'd
go.
probably be happy for that person, I would.
I'd be happy
Not,
too.
not everybody's the same.
No, I'd be a little bit, oh man, but you know, good luck to the person.
Yeah, and you'd
Good
be disappointed, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
So it could
it's
come
only-
under disappointment.
It's
as well.
only a natural thing to be disappointed, but then you've got to give it the balanceness as well. Good luck to that person. And you're probably thinking, God, that could have been me. But you know, it is what it is, and that's what life is about. It is what it is, isn't it?
Wasn't meant for you.
Yeah. And again, another missed opportunity, say for instance in the athletics industry in a race. When you're doing the 4x4 100 metres. Yeah, I've seen that happen, I'm telling you. And you're trying to get that baton and you're running at speed and you miss it and the baton's dropped. And there you go, the race is finished and by the time you pick up the baton, you've lost. And that's a prime example of another missed opportunity. And then you got to think, well, someone's won, so you got to congratulate them, even though you could have won, blah, 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 you know, again. It is what it is. But, even with writing things as well. So, for instance, because as you all know, I'm a part-time author, which I am. And I've never really missed opportunities in getting books out, because books can take a long time. I take my first book, Out of the Darkness. That book took, how long did it take for me to get it out? Well, I started writing it, pen to pad, 2010. I did start writing it then, but it was under a different name. It was originally called The Journal of My Life. That's what it was going to be called originally. And how that's come to the Out of the Darkness part of the book is when, in 2011, my life had changed literally overnight, and that's where that name came from, Out of the Darkness, cometh the light. It's a Wolverhampton saying, isn't it? Out of the darkness cometh the light, and that's well known for Wolverhampton, that saying. But yeah, so I didn't miss that opportunity then, getting the book out. I just took my time and started getting into the YouTube thing as well, which was documenting things on my own channel. And so I used that, and I'd look back on that and I'd use the information off that. And then obviously when the press got involved with it, the Express and Star, then ITV Central News, and then ITV News itself, and GMTV, and then being on the This Morning Show. So we had a catalogue of all that information to help me get my book out of the darkness. And then, of course, received my first Order of Fame award in 2015 as well. And that was an opportunity which was unexpected. Didn't even know I was nominated. And Sean Boland, thank you, bless you for that. The only man to nominate me for my first award. No other persons or other parties, Sean Boland, but yeah.
Bless you, Sean Bowler.
Yeah, bless you. But yeah, getting back to the video about missed opportunities. So, shall we come to the thing that happened yesterday? Yeah, right. We were in Birmingham City and we went into a shop because of copyrights and all this
We're not
stuff.
allowed to say.
We're not allowed to say the name of where we were. But it was one of these shops where you can get cheap things. Yeah. And we just got what we wanted and we went to the self-serve because we're still getting used to the self-serve till system. We're not a big fan of it.
We don't like it.
No, we don't like it. Period. Give me someone behind the till, approach the staff to service. Yeah,
I personally don't like it because it takes people's jobs.
Yeah, it
It's not
does.
that I don't like it because it does get people through quicker, but you're taking somebody's job away.
Of course.
By giving that.
And plus, you know, for some of my subscribers who know about my history in work, I was in the security industry, as you know. And when the self-serve till system came into force, I did not like it at all. So I had to police that. And I even said that will get abused. And lo and behold, it's one of the most abused systems within the retail industry, the self-serve. And it really is.
But you know, we've got to move forward.
Yes, we've got to move forward. Yes, definitely. Yeah, but getting back to this missed opportunity by personnel where we were yesterday. So anyway, we was in the queue and I noticed this person was a female, and with all the years of experience I got in security, you get to know the behaviour patterns of people who are committing a crime, and you really do. It's called learning people skills, and that was one of the traits that I specialised in as a security officer, and I was one of the best in G4S retail division, so I became the official training officer to teach them how to be observant of things and blah blah blah, you know, and so on and so forth. But yeah, getting back.
You still do that now.
I still do it now, and I've retired from the security industry. I still do it
Where
now.
he goes, he does it.
I can't help it. It's a second nature thing because I've been doing it for all those years. It's just a natural response for me now. I don't have to even think about it. I just clock straight away. It's what I see and what I feel. But anyway, there was a female, because I was thinking, is that a man? No, definitely a female it was. And she had quite a few items of her on her. Some kids' clothing and quite a few other things which she'd put into her bag, which I saw her by the till side area, but she was away from the checkout area as such. And I could see her putting all her stuff in. And that's when I told Max what was going on. And the next thing you know, I said, she's heading for the door. She ain't going to pay for any of that stuff. And lo and behold, she did. And as she was walking past, there was two marshals in there. Two security
She
marshals.
walked past two marshals.
Yeah, who, you know, we call
I've
them...
seen her, but completely ignored
Yeah,
her.
it's completely ignored her. They're street wardens, but they was in there, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the security officer at the entrance, and he was talking to a member of the public. And she walked straight past the security officer. And me and Maxine just looked, we couldn't believe that. But again, the system of the way how things with the law of the land of that, if I intervened, it could have kicked off very nastily, and it could have. So what do? What would you do in that situation? We would love to know in the comments, how would you responded to that? Would you have just let them go, or would you have quickly gone to the security officer to tell them while he was talking to a member of the public that the thief has just gone, blah blah blah, and then you become what they call a viable witness. So
But you can also make somebody lose their job.
Yeah, again.
Which you don't want to do.
Which you don't want to do, because the security officer was way at fault.
It's hard to get jobs, isn't it?
Yeah, because he was too busy talking to someone, not being observant. What do you do as a security officer? You're observant. You keep aware of your surroundings, of where you are working. Well, he wasn't. He was too busy chatting to this person. Had nothing to do with the job. And we went and told him as we was coming
Well,
along.
I was just, Andrew says, you know what, I'm fed up of telling him.
Yeah.
Because he does in most shops and he sees it, he tells them.
I do tell them.
He said, because they don't do anything
They don't,
anyway,
exactly,
what's the
they
point?
don't.
So I says, well, I am. So as we was going out, I said, excuse me. I said, did you not notice that person walk past you with unpaid goods? And he
said
looked, didn't
no,
he? And
yeah.
he went, no. I said, do you know what? I said, we have to pay for ours. And everything in this shop is going up where everybody's pinching this, that and the other.
It's true.
And he said, I'm sorry, didn't he?
Yeah.
I said, sorry's not good enough.
No, it isn't.
Your eyes should be everywhere.
Yeah. Instead of bloody talking to Joe Public.
Yeah.
And that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
And so I gave him a brief description of the perpetrator. And he said he's going to look on the CCTV. I says, well, it's no good for that. She's
He
not
wouldn't
there.
look on the CCTV.
Of course he wouldn't. He just tried to fob me off.
But if we did it,
Yep.
if we thought we'll go and have 3 days shopping,
We would get
we'd
accosted.
get caught. We'd get caught.
Actually, we actually get looked at when we go into places.
Yeah, that's because they look at us like we shouldn't be out.
Yeah. And I'm going to mention this name, Harvey Nichols. You should be ashamed of yourself. We went into one of their places, right? And the way how they were looking down on us was just despicable. How dare they?
First of all, they look to see what designer clothes you're wearing.
Yep.
And if you're not wearing any, then in their mind, automatically
You've got no
in there to
money.
thief.
You've got no
You've gone
money.
in there to thief.
Exactly.
They don't know how much money you've got.
Exactly.
So then all of a sudden the nose goes down, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. They think they're
just
better than you see. That's what I'm saying. You never judge people when
You
you're out
don't,
there.
never
You never
judge.
ever judge anyone. I don't care who you are or what rich and wealthy parents you come from. Don't judge people who haven't got as much as you because they're still human beings just like you.
And do you know what? Aged people are allowed to go in shops,
Yep.
by the way. And if they want to choose to buy something, they will.
Yeah.
Just because you're not wearing designer clothes and all done up doesn't mean that you haven't got money.
Exactly.
And it certainly doesn't mean that you're going to go in and pinch.
Exactly. I've arrested people who have got money, who are very well off, and yet they steal. And I've arrested them, and they got the cheek to say to me, "You shouldn't be arresting me. I've got money to pay for this as well. You had the opportunity to, so why didn't you pay for it?"
But the annoying thing is, we have to pay.
Yep,
We pay for our goods.
and we do.
As I hope all of you lot out there who follow the channel do.
Yeah.
If you don't, that's your own personal choice. But one day you will get caught because
Yeah.
karma comes back to people
does.
eventually.
And that's the thing with karma. Trust me, it's real. It's right in front
Yeah.
of us now. It's here.
Yeah.
None of us human beings on this planet can ever escape the karmatic energies of life.
No.
Because it always gets you in the end. There's no escaping.
But what they don't realise is all the prices are going up in the shops.
Yeah, of course.
It's bad enough as it is.
Yeah.
But now, you know what? The security guards, if I'm right, they're not allowed to arrest them, are they?
Well, again, it all depends on the
Don't they
situation
just
at
have to
hand.
phone the police or something?
Well, what the causes for you to stop and apprehend a shoplifter? Okay, you see them select the goods. Okay, then you see the concealment, and then you see them going through the tills and exiting the store. Those three parts of that, you have got the laws and the rights to stop someone. Even now, even with the laws, with the licenses, you still have got the rights and the powers to stop someone for stealing. You have. You really, really have, because that law hasn't changed. It's just that the SIA, Security Industries Authorities system is a little bit different, but you still got those powers, and you still have. That will never ever go. As long as you see those three things, you have got the rights to stop someone for stealing.
I think these days as well, I mean, they don't get enough pay, do they?
No,
Really?
some of them don't.
You know, and you've got to be careful. Well, they have, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got to be very,
You don't know
very
who's got knives, you don't know who's
Exactly.
got guns.
Yeah.
But the irritating thing is, most people who steal, I believe, they think, well, they're insured, they get it back.
Yeah.
Well, they might do, but still your prices are going up.
Yeah, and that's what causes the inflation in products. Because
You
of the amount of theft. And shoplifting now is one of the most worst things in the country. Shoplifting. It's massive compared to when I was, working in the industry. It's huge, it really is.
But it is very annoying.
It
very
is.
Annoying.
But yeah, again, and that was a major missed opportunity by the security officer. He wasn't doing his job properly.
Yeah.
Boy.
You take that sort of job on, you've got to be on the ball.
You've got to
All the
be.
hours you work.
Yep. And now that I'm away from that industry, I can't help it. Even
But
when
he still tries to get involved with you. And it's not worth it.
No. Well, yesterday was enough, really. I thought
You'd had enough of it.
I had
hadn't you?
enough. I thought, right, he's not doing his job. He's incompetent, which he is. And he really was incompetent in his job because he wasn't doing what he's supposed to.
And the thing was, the shop was about to shut.
Yep.
Because he's gone over the tunnel,
Yep.
get everybody, get your baskets and make your way to the till.
So that shoplifter took advantage of that
So,
as well.
yeah, because they didn't want the paperwork for a starter.
That's classic, that is.
Otherwise, they've never got out of work
Yeah.
with that,
I mean, when I worked in the industry, I used to get thieves come in 5 minutes before, and if they was going to commit I made sure I was on them all the time actually, so I'd deter them from stealing. That's one way around dealing with it. If you didn't want to do the paperwork, be on them. And then they'll say, well, what are you looking at me for? I says, well, I can go where I want to go. I can follow you if I want to, but I'm not doing anything to upset you.
I mean, then you've got the other half, haven't you? Who genuinely have got no money.
Yep.
And they need milk for the babies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you stand with that? Where would you go with that?
Yeah.
I'd find that very difficult because I'd know why they were stealing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be for drugs or drink, it'd be for the nappies.
And I've had to deal with people like that over the years as well. It is very hard. It's heartbreaking. No.
I'd rather say to people like that, and I would, and Andrew will tell you this, I would, wouldn't I? I'll pay for those for you.
And that's what I used to
rather
do.
than them take them.
That's what I used to
Yeah.
do when I knew they was genuine in their actions, especially if they got the children with them. And then again, it's all about assessing. That's the thing with the security industry. You've got to assess the situation. You've got to make sure you've got to be so observant. You cannot afford to take your eyes off. And that's what some of the security officers of today do fail. And we've both seen that. We really have. And boy, but yeah, that was.
Keir Starmer, I believe, used to be a judge, did he?
Yeah, well, he was a solicitor. He was a solicitor. He was a solicitor. He was a solicitor or a
He ought
barrister.
to know these things, and yet he doesn't. He's
No.
oblivious.
Yeah, he's totally oblivious to it.
I mean, if he's Labour, I'll eat my hat. I will.
He's not true Labour because
He's
true
more
Labour
conservative than anything.
in his ways actually.
The way he is, he's made people poorer.
Yes,
and
he
that's
certainly
all
has.
around. So they get more money themselves, I assume.
It's like the old Robin Hood thing.
Yeah, they've never got no money
Yeah.
until something's needed for people abroad.
Mm.
And that's not prejudice, by the way.
No, it's not.
That's a true fact.
That's the true fact. That is. Yeah.
Yet their own people here, they can't help.
No.
Well, they can, they won't.
Yeah, that's it. They can, but they won't.
Childcare with a lot of single mothers as well. I've been a single mum myself, so I know. It's hard to go to work as a single parent. It's easier said and written down on paper than the actual fact of it, as people will know if they've got children and that's a single parent. What about when your children are off? They're not very well.
Yeah.
Or what you're supposed to do with them if you haven't got anyone to have them. Then you've got the school holidays. What you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You can't have 6 weeks off in a big holiday from work.
No.
Anywhere, as far
work
as
won't
I know.
allow it.
They won't allow
The
it.
maximum they'll allow you is 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks,
So, it's impossible for that for them to go to work. And some of you will probably say, well, they shouldn't have had children. Well, no, they shouldn't have. But you don't know their predicament at the time.
Exactly. How dare they?
You don't know the
How dare
predicament.
they?
Not everybody goes around randomly popping them out.
No, that's awful. See, that's where the matrix
Exactly.
system comes into place, of control.
And you hear people say that, you think, hang on a minute. Or they say, oh, they come from one parent families. If they're in trouble,
Yeah.
mine have never been in trouble.
No.
And there's always an answer and an excuse for
Yeah,
everything.
there is.
And it's not the right way.
No, it's completely
Not the
wrong
right way.
wrong
The
way.
police don't seem to have any laws, do they, anymore? Because they're not allowed them.
I know, even they've
I mean, they speak to people like they're their best friends.
yeah, they do. We see a lot of that. We see a lot of that.
And that to the wrong people, though. This is a
Yeah,
problem.
completely wrong people, yeah. But yeah, getting back to this video, missed opportunities. If you see a positive opportunity for you out there, grab it by the horns, literally.
Yeah.
Literally grab it by the horns.
And never think you're not good enough for that opportunity.
Yeah.
Because we all come in this world the same as
We
I
do,
always say.
yes, we do.
But you know what? We've all got the same opportunity
Yeah, every single human has.
as getting the same as everybody else
Yep.
if we want to.
Equal opportunities.
But you can't sit there thinking about it
No,
and
and dwelling on
and
it.
making
and-
excuses that you're not
Yeah,
good enough. We're
yeah,
all
yeah.
good enough.
Mm,
Remember that.
mm,
I mean, you may go for like a job interview, but you've
yeah.
got to remember if you don't get it, there's probably 200 people went for that interview. So it's not really reflected on you.
No, it's not. No.
It's probably that somebody with more experience, more qualifications.
Talk about qualifications. Oh gosh.
You know, it's.
Talking about the other day was on about. Has any of you ever been for a job, right? And I can assure some of you have. Have you ever been told you've been too overqualified for a job? It's happened to me twice. Have you ever heard anything so ridiculous in your entire life, and you're willing to start at the bottom so you can work your way up, just because you've got all these academics that you've learned, you've been to, you got your GCSEs, you got 5 or 7 of them, you've been to college, university, you got all these. I've got my BTEC National in Sports Science, and I can tell you now, curves, remember curves?
Yeah.
Right. You go back a long
Yeah, I
time
used to
now.
go to curves with my sister.
Right. For those of you who don't know about curves, they were a fitness, health, spa thing all rolled into one, literally. And it was the one in Wolverhampton. It not long ago opened up. And I just got my BTEC National from Bilston College in 1980. It was 88. I was there for 2 years at Bilston College. And I got my BTEC National. And I thought, well, I was doing a bit of security work still, working the doors a little bit. And I thought, right, I'm going to try and see if I can go into the sports industry and work as a, what were they called back then? Because today they're called fitness consultants. Back then they were a different name altogether. Basically, I wanted to be there like a gym instructor on fitness, on building bodies and keeping healthy and what have you, So I always remember this, I went in and so I filled out the application form prior to that, and I said, yeah, and they invited me for an interview. And the manager come to me, he was a young lad, I remember this, he's probably about 19, 20, a little bit younger than me. And he says, I'm sorry to disappoint. I says, why? What have I done wrong? Because when you hear things like that, you think you've done something wrong. And he said, no, you're too overqualified, even you're more qualified than the manager. I said, what, more than you? Wow, okay.
Well, just says, well, give me the job then.
This is well, give me your job. I was thinking that, I was going to say that, but I thought, no, I can't be cheeky. And he said, no, you're too overqualified. I thought, I was just really gobsmacked. I says, I'm willing to start at the bottom, even do cleaning around here. He says, no, we wouldn't want to spoil it because of what you've got. And I says, I've never heard anything so ludicrous in my life. I really haven't. Wow. I said, you know what, that's really made me feel not back in there, knowing that I'm too overqualified. Wow. Even in security, I've been told I was overqualified with one company I went for.
I think just not getting the job, it knocks your confidence.
Yeah, because I was really upset. I really wanted to go for this because I thought...
It's just a natural thing that happens within the body, isn't it? It's the body's way of reacting and coping.
I've missed an opportunity as well within the sports industry. I when I was working at the Body Workshop, as part of my placement when I was at Bilston College doing my sports science, and befriended the people who was running the place, Gareth Brown and Marlene Miller. I mean, the Body Workshop now, that's dead and buried, that's gone now, that's going way back now with this when this was open. And there was this fitness consultant, she used to come in every now and again. And she offered me a job to work on an ocean liner as a gym trainer on there. And I said to her, well, I've been studying my BTEC National, my BTEC in sports science. I said, wow, that's brilliant, that would fit in well. And certain things have been going on with the family and what have you, and I couldn't go for the job.
Oh.
So that was
That's definitely a missed opportunity.
That's a missed opportunity for me. I was really up for it. But certain things have been going on with, my parents, and because I've already been away for God knows how many months on the ship going all around the world, and things like that. I would have been doing all that. And but then I put my family first before that. And I did. So that's why I didn't get that opportunity in working.
It's a missed opportunity.
Ocean, yeah, it was a very big missed opportunity, because I would have been seeing the world and training people on the ocean liners. It was oh gosh, who were the big ocean liners back then? I can remember. Not P&O, it wasn't P&O Ferries, because they just do ferries. It was just a big ocean liner company, and yeah, it was going to take me on if I'd took the job, but family first. Certain things were going, so I had to stay in Wolverhampton, and yeah, so there you go, another great missed opportunity. But again, family priorities, which is lacking in this day and age. Agreed?
Well, definitely.
Family priorities definitely lacking in this day and age. But yeah, so yeah, but there you go. But missed opportunities. If you can wait up and say, right, and then speak with certain people within your families and what have you, if it's going to work out for you, then you go for it. Go for it.
I personally don't think you should listen to others, and that includes family. I think you should do what you want to do, what you feel is right to do at that time.
Yeah.
And at least if you make a mistake, you've made that mistake.
Yeah.
But I think you regret it if you don't try it.
Yeah, I know.
And what you've got to remember as well, family's not always going to be around you, are they?
No, they're not.
Especially parents.
Yeah, I know.
And you're going to get older. And I'm sure that the parents would want you to do really well.
Yeah.
I suppose it's like you're trying to hold on to that bit of security you've got.
Yeah, too true.
If you think about it that way, and you don't want to leave your mum and dad, really.
Yeah, because I come from, just for some of my subscribers who do know a little bit about my family background, I come from a very tight-knit family, which is quite rare, and it is, isn't it, Max? It's quite rare, and because I was one of the people who was in full-time work at the time and helping parents with their, paying money towards the keep of the home, what have you, wherever they were living, and blah 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 blah. And when the poll tax era first come out, because that was round about then as well, in the late, was it mid to late 80s?
I think so. I don't know. I can't remember.
And what I'll tell you, I've been honest, I refused to pay it at the time. So the Wolverhampton Council took me to court, and it was in the Express and Star, and I refused. I said, I've got to help my parents to pay for this, help pay for the bills, because times back then was tight, so I had to help, and that's why I said I can't afford to pay for the poll tax. I refused it, so they threatened to lock me up. So
it would have cost them probably more to lock you up.
Yeah, for that, I didn't do anything criminal. I didn't rob off anyone or do any harm to anyone. No, because of the blinking poll tax. How dare they do that? And then I found out it was in the Express and Star, and I even went mad. I said, how dare they put that in the paper without my knowledge of putting that in the paper? Because
You were really lucky though, you know, because I remember it was an elderly person who refused to pay the poll tax at that time, and they got put into prison for 8 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, they were elderly. Yeah, I remember that really clearly. Yeah.
So anyway, they come with some kind of plan to pay it off in smaller instalments, because they wanted the whole lot at the time when it first came out. If you remember, Mac, didn't they? They wanted the whole lot. They didn't arrange a plan for you to have an instalment plan originally.
No, you had to pay all the
You had to pay it all off.
Yeah.
And I said, no way on this earth can I afford to pay that. No way. And why be told you guys are going to be giving me a criminal charge because my family is more important to help than your blinking poll tax.
I think this is why organisations should start sorting the we from the chief.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Speak. You know, and everything should be mean tested, really.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where the system fails on that.
It really does. It does fail because I think that everybody's got to get the same money.
Yeah.
And I don't get that at all.
No.
It should be means tested.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody should be means tested.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you've got probably millionaires who are allowed to claim child benefits and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
How is that fair? It isn't, is it really?
No.
I mean, I would imagine a lot of them would say no, or they put it to a charity or something.
Yeah.
But still, it's that law, and still.
Yeah, of course it is.
So, I mean, that's taking advantage of opportunities, aren't they?
Of course
if
they
do
are.
accept it.
Of course they're taking advantage
Really?
of opportunities.
They really are. But I just think in this day and age, the people that really deserve things, they're not getting them.
No, they're not.
But everybody who knows how to cheat the systems and stuff, they get
certainly
it all.
do. Of course they do. And
They get it all.
I have to say, we personally know people who do that.
Yeah.
We really do. And that's a
Yeah.
sad thing to know about that.
Yeah. You find as well that most couples won't live together because they're worse
Because
off.
of it.
If they're on benefits anyway.
But we're battling through it, aren't we, my darling?
We do. We
Yeah,
do. We
we-
just pay what we have to pay, and that's
Yeah.
it.
We've wised up to
We
it.
don't. We
haven't
don't. I couldn't care less anymore.
Again, what's the point of worrying?
There isn't.
Be thankful you're breathing in that
Yeah.
air. Be thankful.
Yeah.
It's not all about money. Just have enough just to survive. That's what we say.
I mean, it's a natural process for your body to worry if you've got money worries and you can't meet this and you can't meet that. I mean, and I know you. We'd rather go without and pay what we've got to
course.
pay.
Exactly.
Because it's the law of the land.
Exactly, it is.
You know, you've got to pay what you owe, haven't you, really?
You certainly have.
And I certainly don't believe we let it all bunk up like sort of
Like
thing.
some people do.
Yeah. Oh, you know, it's one of them, isn't it, really?
It is,
Not
yeah.
telling anybody what to do.
Yeah,
nothing to do
exactly.
with me.
We're not here to preach.
No.
We're here to
Just talk about reality, really.
reality.
Yeah.
For those of you who want to learn about some of the things that we do, into the holistic thing, which we are both into in a big way, you're more than welcome to ask us questions about that. But yeah, this video, it's about missed opportunities and
But always have a think about it.
always do.
Anything that's offered to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Think about things.
Yeah.
Obviously, as long as it's legal.
Weigh up the pros and cons.
Mm.
Weigh up the pros and cons.
But never ever think about other people.
No.
In that sort of sense.
Yeah, when it comes to opportunities,
Yeah.
which is going to better you as a person.
Because you have to remember as well, for the younger ones who watch, the better you can do for yourself when you're younger, the more you'll be able to cope with the costs of living.
When you're older.
When you're older.
Yeah, definitely.
As if you just think, oh, I'm never going to get old, or it don't matter yet. It does matter.
Yeah, because when we see young people,
It does matter.
and we see some young people who think, well, they're invincible.
Yeah.
Nobody is invincible. Nobody. Don't care who you
Very
are.
true.
No one is invincible. No one on this earth is invincible. We knew stories about celebrities who thought they could live forever. Boy, they're no longer here now, are they? So what does that tell you?
It just shows that money can't buy your health.
Yep.
You can't buy your happiness.
Exactly. We know people, right, in the celebrity world who have got so much money they don't know what to do with it.
Mm.
And then years down the line, they're gone.
Mm.
What's happened to that money? What does that tell you? And people probably might say, or might mention in the comments on this video, might say, well, we enjoy it while we have it and we buy this and we buy that, but are you truly happy there? Well, it makes us happy, yeah, but are you really happy? That is the question. Are you really, really happy? Because all these millions can't buy you happiness. Only you can.
And I can't stress this enough, money-wise. Always pay your rent.
Yep.
Always pay your bills.
Yep.
Always pay whatever you have to pay out each month. Whatever's left, if anything. Put it away, save it.
Yeah.
It's like your kids, don't you know? I wish I had my time again with what I bought them when they were little.
Me too.
Because if you'd have put that in a savings bank for them,
man.
they'd have had a lot of money by the time they're 18. Enough to get them on like a car
Yeah,
or
just
driving lessons.
Give them a
or-
platform to work
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Give them a platform.
The
to work.
opportunity to do
See,
that.
that's another opportunity.
Because us as parents, we can hold opportunities away from them
Yeah, we can.
by not thinking logical, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've got grandchildren, rather than keep buying them all the while, put it in a bank account for them.
It's like what we do for our great nieces and great nephews. We tend to give them a few pounds to their parents. And what do?
They put it in a savings.
They put it in a savings for them. That's
Which
brilliant.
is sensible.
It is very sensible.
They don't need it now, do they?
No.
They don't need
not
40 dolls and 60 cars, do they?
No.
You know?
No, they don't.
They really don't, do they?
They don't.
But they'll thank you for it when they're old.
Oh, they will do. Rest assured, they will.
Yeah,
They will.
I mean, half the time you can buy things, and they're not what they want anyway.
No,
they're not
it's-
what they'd put on in the clothes
No,
wise.
exactly. That's true. That is.
Yeah.
That is very, very true.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, you know, just give them the money where you can. It doesn't matter what it is, I'll be grateful for it.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's how you buying sweets, and it's to rot the teeth.
Oh, gosh.
The only people out are making money out of that's your dentists.
Dentists and the people who sell you the sweets,
yeah.
the shop owners,
All the sugar.
yeah, and the people who make them, the companies, the manufacturers. But yes, missed opportunities, please. If you know for a fact in your own mind that you are going to benefit greatly from that opportunity, please don't miss it. So ending it there.
Ending it there.
And that's a wrap on that one for let's talk about missed opportunities. I know we talked about certain other things along the way, but it was still, in a way, when you think about it, still connected to it. So again, thank you again to our new subscribers, 7 of you. Thank you. That's wow. Thank you. That really means a lot to us, bro. Oh, it really does. Thank you. So again, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscription button, hit the notification bell. As you know, we upload videos every week without fail. It may be 1 video a week, it may be 2 or 3. Doesn't matter how many we do, but we always do guaranteed upload videos every week to give you the content what we do. So yeah, and the Tai Chi Traveller, he's still going to be going on around doing his thing. He definitely will. And yeah, the UK Martial Arts Show is just a few weeks away now. So yeah, you're going to be getting some content from that too as well. Some possible interviews as well from some well-known other martial arts people who's going to be there. But yeah, thank you again to the support on our channel. And yeah, please like, share, comment. Share the channel too. Tell people about us. Because, as I've always said, we are who we say we are. Straight down the middle of life. No swaying to that side or swaying to that side. Straight down the middle about life itself. Okay?
Namaste.
Namaste,
everyone.
everybody. Namaste, namaste. And most importantly, we always say this on our videos. Please, please, please stay safe out there, everyone. Please stay safe. Be aware of your surroundings and what's going on out there in that world. Please, because we know it's not that safe out there, really, is it? Okay, and thank you. And let's keep that chi of life. Let's keep it always forever flowing. Let's keep it moving. Just feel that chi. Just feel that wonderful energy. Of course, it's universal. It always has been and always will be. Let's feel that chi. It's doing its own thing.